Hi angels, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing this purple, like very glam, very glowy, and yeah, I had a lot of fun making this for you guys. It's going to be a voiceover for you to give you some details on what I'm doing, but I was able to like really get into everything that I want to show you guys all the time. Okay, we're starting with a clean base. We're going to start with eyeshadow. This is the shade Freedom from the Huda palette. We're going to lightly blend that all over the eyelid, mostly into the crease and up towards the eyebrow. And then we'll also take it down the nose a bit, just to make sure everything is cohesive and blends really well. You're going to have really light pressure with this. You just want to get this color kind of like all over the upper eyelid. And then we're going to go with the color Beauty Chaos. It's more of a purple tone. This is really going to make your brown eyes or hazel eyes pop. And we're going to keep blending that. Blend that over the spots that we put Freedom. And now we're going to go in with the white pencil from NYX. And just on that inner corner, this is really going to make that pop. We're not going to do an exact cut crease, but it's going to give the effect of a blended out cut crease. So with like a fluffy brush, fluffy angled brush, make sure to keep that in that corner and on the lower eyelid. I just recently learned this tip from a pro makeup artist, and I swear it has made the biggest difference in my makeup. I love the way that it comes out. Now we're going to go in with this Anastasia Beverly Hills single shadow. You have to order it online. It's the shade Deep Plum. I love to use this as my smudged out eyeliner. I just take a smudging brush and run it all along that lid. I do use the tips when I get to that inner corner, and I'll go in and reinforce it with a eyebrow pencil later to really define it, but I like it to be a defined smoked out, if that makes sense. This also will make your lashes look like you just got a fill if you are a couple weeks out from your lash fill and you can't see your girl for a little bit. Pro tip, lash extensions, this is beautiful for that, and it's going to make them look so thick and fluffy, especially this color. I don't know what it is. I've been using this since 2019, and it's just the best to ever do it. So now I'm going to take an angled eyeliner or eyebrow brush. This is the thinnest one I possibly have. Unfortunately, I did get this in an Ipsy bag one year, about 10 years ago, so I don't have a name for it, just the thinnest one that you can possibly find. So I'll do the wings, and then I'm going to go in with the lightest eyeshadow color in the Mario palette and go over that white jumbo eyeliner that we did. Really reinforce that, and it's going to make that pop. I'm obsessed with this eye look. It is my go-to glam eye look for everything that I need to look good in. Next, I'm going to go in with the Dior foundation, the Forever Skin Glow in the shade 3W0. I like to rub it in with my hands so it warms up with my body heat, and then I will go in with an Amazon brush. It's actually a dupe for the BKW brushes. They're seriously unreal. They're so amazing. I will put the description of them in the description box below and let you find them on Amazon. They're so good. This is seriously my new favorite foundation that I've ever tried in my entire life. If you know me, you know I'm a foundation junkie, so this is just unreal. I would also like to emphasize on bouncing the brush on your skin and not swiping and wiping across your face. Nothing like that ever. Bounce is the way to go. Really press that into the skin. And we're just going to keep bouncing, keep bouncing. Everything that we do is bouncing. Nothing will ever be to wipe and swipe and drag the brush across your skin. Always bounce and always press. Now that our foundation is laid perfectly, I'm going to go in with my favorite contour stick or contour of all time, which is the Christian Dior sculpting stick. I'm in the shade 03 medium. You guys, it's so good. Like, I can't even express to you the way that this is a bronzer contour shadow stick. It's just unreal and it blends like a freaking dream. I'm obsessed. I can't say enough good things about this. Obviously, this isn't sponsored. So everywhere else, I like to kind of swipe it a little bit, and then on my jawline, I like to dot it because the jawline already has its own shadow. I don't need to be putting a bunch of contour there. It just needs to lay enough to do its job and to grip onto that powder later on. So again, we're going to go in, we're going to be bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. This is the Mario F4 brush. I have two of these. You'll notice that the red mark on this, that is to let me know that this one is my contour, and then I have a shiny one on the other one to let me know that's my foundation brush. So just bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. We're going to press this really good into the hairline as well. Don't be afraid to really get that into your hairline. You want it to look very natural. You don't want any white lines abruptly, and you can always wipe your hair later. Okay, so I told you before that there's an exception to the rule of swiping. Here, I feel like it's important to bounce first, and then ever so slightly when you're bouncing back, you want to swipe just a little bit down to kind of blend it in, but it's like 75% a bounce and then 25% a swipe, just to like really blend it down my neck. And then I'll go over that later with powder, obviously, and it'll all blend together. But this is the one time that I might swipe a little bit. Always go up your jawline and behind your ear. Make sure all of that blends and it doesn't stop abruptly. You want it to look very natural. I'll go over my cheekbones again and just go over my face. Make sure everything is really well blended. You can see right there in my cheekbone why it's my favorite highlight. That is the most beautiful bronzer contour shadow. Oh, I just love it so much. I also have an obsession with overlining my lips, so I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. That's not going to be my final lip liner. This is just to make everything cohesive for the rest of the video. Now I'm going to take my favorite nose contour brush in the entire world, the Patrick Tahada. I think this is his only nose contour brush. I like to blend it in a little bit with my finger first, again, just because my finger has body heat in it and I feel like it kind of warms it up, makes it look more natural. And then I will go over it with the brush and again later on with powder. You'll notice that I blend that up into my eyeshadow and into my eyebrow. That's going to give it the most natural shadow. Okay, I'm going to begin the nose highlight and concealer process. This is House Labs in the shade Sepia. I'm going to put a little bit down the bridge of my nose where I want to highlight, and then I like to go horizontally across my nose for my highlight instead of a dot under the nose, because as females we have hormones there and it tends to get a little bit red, so we want to cover those a little bit on the chin. And then I'm going to go with my favorite color corrector in the entire world, which is the Tarte Shape Tape in pink. I love this color corrector. And next I'm going to go back in with the House Labs in shade Sepia. I love House Labs. I probably have like 5 or 6 different concealers from them. They're my all-time favorite. I also really like the House Labs concealers as well for like a more daytime. I feel like it just blends into the skin so beautiful and just melts. So this that I'm using underneath of my cheeks is actually the shade Beech. That's a little bit more of my skin tone, so it doesn't highlight too light underneath that area. Again, I'm going to use my finger to blend that in. Same with the nose. Not only does it blend better, but I have better control in this area because I've already done all of that contour. I don't want to mess up anything. I'm just not willing to risk it with a brush, so I would prefer to blend it with my finger first and then powder it after. Even with my finger, I still felt like it got out of hand, so I'm going to go back over that with my brush really quick and just make sure all of that stays perfect. Now I'm going to begin to go in with Sepia, like I had said, and cover where we did not put foundation. Emphasis on not putting foundation in this area. We don't want to layer the makeup too much and make it look cakey. So I'm going to go in with that concealer brush from the Amazon pack that I got and begin blending. This was actually my first time using that brush and I fell in love with it. I'm going to be using this every single time from now on. I just love it so much. And just remember, we're going to bounce, 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 bounce. Do not swipe, please, especially in this area. Honestly, my footage accidentally got deleted, so I didn't capture all of the concealer. It'll be in the next video, I promise you. But just please bounce and blend and bounce and just trust the process. Okay, now I'm going to blend all of that together and marry it with my foundation brush with a little tiny bit of the foundation buffed into the brush really well to make sure that everything comes out cohesive and there's no harsh lines. And honestly, I'm just going to go over my entire face with that brush. I like everything to be very blended, no harsh lines, but definitely a contour that you can see, but no harsh lines. This right here is my holy grail. This is the shade Behave from NARS Liquid Blush. I also have this in a powder blush. It came in a 2-pack for Christmas one year. Oh my goodness, it is to die for. It's such a beautiful everyday blush. It's great for photography. It's just, I mean, NARS really put their foot in it and did their big one with this one. So I like to pick it up a little bit and then really buff it into my brush, like really get it in there so that it diffuses nicely. Get it up under my cheeks, all over. Like, just look at that blush. Seriously, you guys, I can't. That's like, tell me a more beautiful color. Okay, now I'm going to begin to powder my face. First, I'm going to go in with Huda Beauty, the pink powder. I'll put the name in the description. Set with that one, and then I like to bake with the cupcake powder. So I use both of those. It's not necessary. If I had to choose one, I would just go with the pink one, but I like to use both. And yes, I will go back over my powder with that same liquid blush and buff my brush into it a little bit more. The way that I buff it in, it makes it so that it doesn't like pick up any of the powder. It just like buffs out so beautifully. I swear, you guys, if you're gonna get anything from this video, it should be that. Okay, like I said, I'm going in with the Huda in pound cake. I'm so sorry. I called it cupcake before. It's pound cake. Going in with the Huda Beauty pound cake to bake, and I'm going to leave that on there and move on to the rest of my face. Powder puffs are my favorite thing to bake with in the entire world. You cannot convince me otherwise. Currently, my favorite one is from Walgreens, the Walgreens brand powder puffs. It comes in like a 4 or 5 pack. I swear, you guys, trust me on this. Oh my God, they're so good. So next, we're going to begin to bronze with the Rare Beauty in the shade Warmed Up. I love this recently for my contour and bronzer shade. And we're just going to put that all over. Everywhere we contoured, that is going to go. Okay, next we're going to go in with arguably my new favorite makeup product of all time. I need to go and get 5 more. This is the Mario lip liner in the shade Smokey Pink. I'm telling you, this shade is so good. I know everybody hypes up Toasty, and I'll get around to that one, but this one, it... Okay, we are almost done here. I just need to redo my hair to really get this out of the way. So now I like to go in and kind of like pat this into my skin when it's almost all the way melted before I just wipe it off to really highlight that area. I feel like this for me makes a huge difference, and if I just go in with a brush and wipe it away, I'm gonna see my under eyes come right back to life, and I don't want that. So now I'm gonna take a brush and go all over my face, blend everything in. Now this right here is something that I will probably buy for the rest of my life if I can. This is by Pat McGrath. It's the gloss spray. It's not like a setting spray that locks in your makeup. It's like more of a melting spray, and it just gives me literally glass skin on top of my makeup and brings back all of the moisture. I love it. Then I went in with a Fenty Beauty in Glow Bomb, I believe. I'm going to use this highlighter. I'm so sorry, but this is only available at the flagship store in Florida and in LA, but it's so good. But I'm sure you can get the same thing through their other highlighters. This one just happens to be a limited edition. Okay, and that is the final look. This is my go-to glam date night, birthday, wedding, photo shoot, anything that I have, I go with this. So if you want to see more looks like this, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, tell me what you guys want to see, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.